and welcome to this session. This is Exciting Innovations in Power Automate. My name is Ashwini Sharma. I'm the Group Program Manager for Power Automate. And in this session, you will hear from a lot of different program managers across the world that are working on Power Automate and working directly with you, taking your feedback and improving the experience for everyone. Really, I want to start from the momentum that we've seen inside Power Automate over the last few months. First of all, over the last few months, we've seen a 150% increase in the number of actions that execute with our service. We now have over 650 connectors all the way from Adobe to Zendesk that allows customers like yourself to build automations, to build applications, to build experiences spanning the systems that you care about without needing to invest in building connectors yourself. These are available out of the box. And finally, we've seen a massive uptake of customers. At this point, there are millions of customers that are using Power Automate to automate the tedious tasks so that they can focus on what's important to them. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for having the feedback on which we'll improve the products. We'll continue to extend it as well. And let's walk through the new innovations that have happened in this space. Now, the reason for the momentum is the deep integration that we provide out of the box for the systems that you use every day. This includes Office, this includes Teams, this includes Azure and Dynamic systems. Really, our goal is wherever you are, automation should be available in that context. So directly in Teams, for example, if you want to follow up on a message in the next morning, if you got a message the previous night, yes, there's now a workflow available directly in Teams Store that helps you get that done. And so on and so forth, across the experiences that you care about. Of course, these are built on the systems and the connectors that we provide out of the box for applications and platforms that you use every day. So as I mentioned, there are over 650 different connectors that are available as extensibility point. And through this session, you'll also hear us talk about how you can extend these to cover systems that you may be using within your own organization. And finally, the experiences that we design are designed for citizen developers, and they scale for the needs of professional developers and IT governance at scale. This really is critical for us to democratize automation across the world, where you want to enable the rest of your world, the rest of your organization to benefit from automation. And you also want to have guardrails in place to make sure that the data and automation is getting used responsibly. So let's go through different parts of Power Automate itself to help you understand, to help you see what are the innovations that have happened across these parts. First of all, let's talk about Power Automate for Desktop. Power Automate Desktop is an application that's available to you directly inside Windows 11. And to walk you through these innovations, let me hand it over to Nikos. They'll walk through the new innovations that have happened in the last few months. Nikos?
Thank you, Ash. Hello to everyone. My name is Nikos Moutsourakis, and I'm a program manager on Power Automate for Desktop. I'm really excited to be here and talk with you about Power Automate for Desktop and its new features. In my demo, I will present some crucial features that have been released over the past few months for Power Automate for Desktop. Features that either provide more capabilities for automating your scenarios in the most efficient way, or just make the RPA developer life much easier. The first demo is the introduction of a new action that can be located under the message boxes group of actions that display custom form. This action enables you to prompt users to enter a combination of inputs and outputs, such as text, dates, and files, or just for displaying information and results on the screen. Here, I have implemented a sample for this action, and now I'm going to run it. As you can see, a form will be displayed in the screen, asking for some information from me. After I'm filling it, then this information will be stored under specific variables inside the script. Now let's drill into the details of this action. In order to design the custom form, I have to click on this button and a new screen will be displayed. Here on the left side, you will see the elements that consist the form, things like inputs, for example, the text input, a number, a date, etc. Some elements like a text block or an image, and actions like submitting the form or link for opening a URL. On the right side, you can see that there are some properties for each of these elements. For example, for the full name element, you can see here I have a label what will be displayed in the form, some properties for the style, for the layout, and of course some validation if I want to set specific rules for the text that will be inserted. Also, you can see here that I have a preview form, so any change that I will do during my implementation, here I can see a preview of the form. The next feature in the list is the support of Internet Explorer mode in Edge browser. Internet Explorer mode in Edge is the functionality of Edge browser that allows the user to launch a specific web page in Edge exactly like launching it in Internet Explorer browser. This feature of Power Automate for Desktop is intended for web automation scenarios that interact with such web pages that are being launched in Internet Explorer mode in Edge. Power Automate for Desktop launches such web pages with the launch new Microsoft Edge action, but you have to be careful as the specific web page has to be inserted in the related settings of the Edge browser. So now let's have a quick demo of this feature. So if I execute this action, the launch new Microsoft Edge, you will observe that the specific web page is launched in Internet Explorer mode. The next feature in the list is the support for syntax highlighting to all the actions that support script editors. The affected actions are the following: the run VB script, the run JavaScript, run PowerShell, run Python, run JavaScript on web page, and execute SQL statement. As you may observe, the action now supports script editing capabilities like highlighting the keywords of the specific scripting language. For example, here you can see the keywords highlighted for SQL statements. Finally, another really useful feature is related with a new property of a data row type called column header row. This holds the column names of the set table and will enable writing these column headers in a row, for example in Excel cells, in an easy and straightforward way, rather than relying on the existing columns property, which returns the column headers in the form of the list. Now let's take an example of this feature. Here I will run this script. I'm navigating to a web page containing an HTML table. I want to extract the entire HTML table, and as you can see, right here, I have a data row of the column names here in comparison with the column property which contains the column names in a list. These were some of the most important features for Power Automate for Desktop. You may find all the new features released in each version of Power Automate for Desktop in the blog posts that can be found here in the blog of Power Automate. Here you have to select the product updates, and as you can see here, we have the features that have been released with the April 2022 version of Power Automate for Desktop, and here you can see all the new features. I am Nikos Moutsourakis, and this was a quick look at the last features of Power Automate for Desktop. Thank you, have a great day, and back to you, Ash.
Thank you, Nikos. Now, Power Automate Desktop is intended for systems, for automating systems where you don't have any APIs, and hopefully you got a sense for the new innovations that we're doing to make that more easier for you so that you can actually move your business forward faster. Another area where we want to make sure that it's easy for you to connect to your systems to build automations is through the Power Platform connectors ecosystem that we provide. These systems, these connectors allow you to connect to these different systems available out of the box. And to walk you through what's available today and how you can extend it, let me hand you over to Natalie to go through the introduction.
Thanks, Ash. Hi, everyone. My name is Natalie Pinkowska, and I'm a program manager at Power Automate. I'm excited to be here today. We'll be going through deep dive of Power Platform connectors. We'll touch upon types of connectors, give an overview of developing a custom connector, talk about what's new in custom connector development, and information on submitting an independent publisher connector. Today, Microsoft Power Platform offers connectors to over 600 of the most widely used Microsoft first-party and third-party applications, providing seamless connectivity and integration with the services which enhance your organization's productivity. Before we continue on how you can contribute to this ecosystem, let's define the word connector. A connector is a proxy or a wrapper around an API that allows the underlying service to talk to Microsoft Power Apps, Microsoft Power Automate, and even Azure Logic Apps. Let's take a look at the types of connectors on the platform. Custom connectors can be developed for internal use or for customers. They can also be exported via the Microsoft Power Platform command line tool to be submitted as verified publisher connectors, which are built by API owners, and independent publisher connectors, depending on who developed the connector. In terms of building a custom connector, first you must select a REST API or private API, depending on what you'll be building. Then choose to build from our in-product wizard, or by importing from GitHub, or importing an open API definition, or even by importing a Postman collection. After that, you'll be choosing the corresponding authentication method. Our options today are anonymous, basic, which is just username and password, API key, OAuth, and Windows authentication for on-premises. Then you'll be adding actions and triggers to your connector. Actions are changes directed by a user, such as create a task. Triggers notify your app when specific events occur. For instance, when I receive an email from my manager. We offer support for two types of triggers, webhook triggers and polling triggers. Once you've defined your connector, you can move on to testing your connector. We have two exciting announcements for what's new in custom connector development. One, you can now build a connector using the latest version of Postman. So you can import Postman collection version 2. Furthermore, you can now transform request and response payloads beyond existing policy templates by adding C# code to your connector. Now that we've seen an overview and updates on custom connector development, let's deep dive into how you can extend the Power Platform ecosystem by submitting an independent publisher connector. And of course, anyone can become an independent publisher. You don't need to own the API. First, follow the instructions we discussed before on building a custom connector to a public API. Then prepare your connector artifacts. A connector is made up of 3 files: a Swagger or OpenAPI 2.0 file, API properties file, and a README-MD file, which is used to generate documentation for the connector. Then you'll export them using the PACon command line tool. Once you have all your artifacts, you can then submit a pull request with your connector artifacts to GitHub. You'll fill out the PR template and add screenshots to prove that your connector works. After that, the certification team will test your connector and may leave comments for improvements, including in the documentation file. We want to make sure that your connector is of high quality before we deploy it. And once it's deployed, it's available on Power Apps, Power Automate, and Azure Logic Apps. Of course, one of the great benefits of this program is anyone can contribute. You don't need to own the API. You can also maintain one copy of a connector instead of managing the connector across multiple environments and tenants. And you can allow others the opportunity to extend and update your connector. You can even collaborate on submitting a connector the first time you submit it. You'll also be able to view your name or your company name directly in Power Platform products and documentation, as it is published by the independent publisher. This is a great opportunity to contribute to an open source project and achieve a Credly certificate. Our community today is made up of over 40 first-time connector developers, students, and MVPs, all who have submitted over 100 connectors. Participate in our ecosystem today by submitting an independent publisher connector.
Thanks everyone for tuning into this part of the session. Back to you, Ash.
Thank you, Natalie, for walking through the Power Platform connector ecosystem and introducing us to the independent publisher program, as well as the advances in the Power Platform connector ecosystem itself. Next up, one of the areas where you're spending a lot of time today is manually processing documents. These are unstructured documents completely, which could be contracts that you need to extract information for, or even structured documents where you may have a table within the documents, for example, invoices, where you're extracting data from the invoices. And both of these documents are types of documents where you and your organization are spending time transcribing information, reading the information and entering that into your own systems. And really, the state of the art for AI has advanced so much in the last few years that if you haven't recently, it's worth checking out how you can embed AI directly into your processes and make them more intelligent. And to walk us through the innovation in this space, let me introduce you to Gwen, who's the Group Program Manager for the AI Builder capabilities. Gwen?
Thanks, Ashwini. I'm Gwen Albago, Group Program Manager for AI Builder, and I'm excited to share the new AI innovations that we're announcing today for Power Automate users. If you're not familiar with AI Builder yet, it is the no-code AI authoring capability that is integrated in Power Platform products like Power Apps and Power Automate. AI Builder provides access to pre-trained, out-of-the-box models that can extract and transform data. It also allows citizen developers to build custom AI models that can be optimized for a specific business need. Because AI Builder is natively integrated in the Power Platform, it also allows IT admins to govern how models are accessed and used across an organization. Let's dive into the new features we're announcing today. One of the key capabilities for AI Builder is document processing. Our team has been focused on building a complete document automation solution. To improve how makers can evaluate and improve performance of their custom models, we've added an accuracy score once the model is done training, as well as a feedback loop, so that documents that weren't detected properly in production can be sent back to the training environment for human validation. Another big feature I'm excited to announce is the support for unstructured document processing. Up until now, AI Builder had been designed to only support structured and semi-structured documents. Today, we're announcing the ability to support free-form documents so that you can automate data processing from unstructured documents like contracts or statements of work. Let's see these new features in action. Starting with our new AI Builder Explore page, we've made it easier for users to determine what type of business problem they can solve with AI. The page includes tutorials, case studies, and how-to videos so that new users can easily adopt AI in their workflows. With form processing, users could already train a custom AI model to extract specific fields in a document using a no-code point-and-click interface. To help users understand how well the model will perform, we've added an accuracy score visible once the model is trained. The performance assessment includes the data distribution from the training set so that users can better determine how to improve model performance by diversifying the training set. Once the model accuracy score is good enough for production, users can use the model in an end-to-end process, leveraging the document automation starter kit and the feedback loop functionality. A configurable flow is pre-built to determine when documents should be sent back to the training environment, depending on the confidence level associated with the extracted data or any other rule the business wants to apply. When a document meets the feedback loop criteria, it gets sent to the document automation's validation station for manual review. Here we can see that an invoice amount was crossed out with a handwritten discount value that wasn't present in the model's training set. The manual reviewer can correct the desired amount and send the document back for training via the feedback loop. In the training environment, the model owner sees a notice explaining that new documents are available for training. The owner can upload the new documents that were stored in the feedback loop and add them to the model. Once the documents have been uploaded, the model owner can tag the missing elements that weren't identified properly in the document. They will now be identified for future iterations. Now let's focus on our new unstructured document processing capability. Training a model to process free-form documents is just as easy as structured documents. Once you've selected the unstructured document option and defined the fields to extract, you can identify where they appear in the documents provided for the training set. In this case, we'll be extracting names of concerned parties, notice periods, and payment amounts from legal documents provided by the Contract Understanding Atticus dataset. Automating this use case will save tedious manual validation required to find the information hidden in this complex document. To support fields spanning across multiple lines, we've added the option to continue tagging to complete a given field. Once the training set is completely tagged, the model will be able to train. Because of the complex nature of unstructured content extraction, training will be a little longer than for structured forms. Once the model has trained, you'll be able to test and verify that it can accurately extract data in your free-form documents, so that you can process them reliably in an end-to-end flow. This concludes the overview of the latest AI innovations that are now available in AI Builder and Power Automate today. Back to you, Ashwini.
Thank you for the great walkthrough, Gwen. And hopefully you got a sense of how you can apply AI directly to processes that you use every day to help you focus on what's more important. Finally, part of the automation is actually understanding how work is getting done within your own organization. And as part of this, we provide a capability called Process Advisor that helps you understand how work is getting done, help you optimize how that work is getting done, and help you automate it as well. And to walk us through the innovations in understanding, in automating, let me introduce you to Mriganka, who's a principal program manager from the Process Advisor team. Mriganka?
Thank you, Ash. I'm very excited to share with all of you the wonderful new experiences and capabilities Process Advisor has recently released. With Process Advisor, you can integrate your insights across your organization using its intuitive interface, ability to customize your data, and deep analytics. Process Advisor leverages Microsoft Power Platform from Dataverse to Power Automate and Power BI to help analyze and visualize your processes. Process Advisor has two powerful capabilities. Process mining, by using your business data, you can produce organization-level insights. And task mining, which provides insights across individual workflows. Users can record their end-to-end tasks and visualize and optimize them. Today, we have two great new experiences to share for Process Advisor, as well as many amazing new capabilities. So let's get started. Now, you can get insights about the history and performance of your cloud flows to identify bottlenecks for automation optimization opportunities, as well as to monitor business drifts. And you can get these insights seamlessly with one click. We have here a flow which processes sales orders, and we want to see the bottlenecks and opportunities to optimize it. We click here on Improve Your Flow and go to Process Advisor. You can see the most frequently executed step in the flow shown by the thicker lines. The darker color nodes show that it's taking more time for these actions. You can also filter based on cases, which means per flow run. We see that the step for approval is taking a longer time. A great opportunity to update the approval step to have multiple approvers so it doesn't block on one person's availability. We can also use custom filters to see the insights based on the flow versions or the success day of the flow run. Another new experience is that you can reach Process Advisor from the Power Automate desktop to generate process insights to help uncover the opportunities for automation. With Process Advisor, there are also some amazing new capabilities and features that have been released. On the home page, you can now do a sample walkthrough with teachable moments to help you understand how to get to value. You can also use templates to easily onboard your data with a few clicks to quickly get to insights to optimize your process. Templates enable users to insights on their process, skipping past any of the traditional data onboarding requirements or hurdles. Our available templates like ADO, Power Apps, or Bot Framework, and many more will empower citizen developers to reach process insights and implement optimizations and automations. For example, here you see an Azure DevOps template we can use to gain insights to deliver better software faster. You can enter the details of your DevOps instance. So let me go ahead and do that. And go ahead and create that. Once created, we actually get to the process map of the data that we have just onboarded. One of the insights we see is that a work item is actually staying for 8 days in the new state before it gets assigned, and also sometimes gets assigned back to the new state. So certainly some opportunities for optimizing the process or managing backlogs and bugs to deliver better software faster. You can also bring in your custom data for procure to pay process and easily identify bottlenecks and drill down deeper. Let's see how we do that. We can use the rich power of the Power Platform data flows, which supports multiple data sources to bring in the data, the custom data for procure to pay, for example, and then go ahead and analyze that to get to the process map as well as the new time analysis report that we have just released, which enables you to drill down on activity, case, and variance. This helps you get to the root cause faster and gives you all the data that you need to make the appropriate changes that you need to for your process. You can also share these insights with others in your company by going ahead and easily being able to share this directly from the analytics view. For task mining capabilities, you no longer need a license for recording your process. Additionally, it is very easy to get insights and get to insights because we are now providing you with auto-generated labels, which reduces the work required to get to value. These auto-generated labels are created based on the applications used in your process. And once these labels are generated, you can easily analyze your process and get to insights. And not only insights, but to the next step of taking an action on that, because now with enhanced AI-based automation recommendation across web and desktop applications, you can take the next step to automate your optimized process. To recap, you now have valuable process insights for your cloud flow seamlessly to optimize your automation and monitor business drifts. You can easily onboard data with templates, drill down into bottleneck root cause with help of the new time analysis report, get to analytics faster with auto-generated labeling, collaborate by sharing analytics, get started quickly with no license requirement for recording a process, and automate your process with the help of the enhanced AI-based automation recommendations to take the next action. Thank you, everyone. Over back to you, Ash.
Thank you, Mriganka, for walking us through the new experience and the new capabilities in Process Advisor. And we really hope you can take a look at these capabilities and use them to understand how business is getting done within your own organization. And you can then apply them to optimize and automate your business processes as well. Well, let's summarize this session. And there really are 3 takeaways. The first one is that it's now easier than ever to build robust automations for your own businesses. The second is you can extend these automation capabilities to also cover the systems that you use every day within your own organization. And finally, hopefully you also got a sense of seeing how AI can help you with Process Advisor and AI Builder understand what's happening on your business and optimize and automate that processes as well with AI Builder. Really, at the end of the day, the reason we're doing all this automation work is to help you focus on what matters most to you and automate the rest. To learn more about the resources that are available for Power Automate, let me introduce you to a breakout session. In breakout session 46, Mustafa is walking you through a new announcement we're making at Build conference this year. And this is for RPA as a service where Microsoft is hosting your VMs for you. This is an area where we've heard a lot from customers and the need for simplicity as they democratize the adoption of automation across their organization. We think this would be really useful for you to take a look at. And then finally, if you're just getting started with Power Automate, or if you want to learn more about the features that we've just released, head on over to Microsoft.com/Power Automate, where you can learn more about these features and dig right in. Thank you for watching.